Well, this is what he had to say. This is going to be the guy in charge of the world's most advanced and powerful military since, well, ever.
Jerusalem as the capital was a miracle, and there's no reason why the miracle of the reestablishment of the temple on the Temple Mount is not possible. I don't know how it would happen. You don't know how it would happen, but I know that it could happen. That's all I know.
Now, if you're not a religious extremist, you might not know what the fuck he's talking about when he said third temple. A lot of Christians have no idea what that even means, but a lot of Christians do, and including this guy. So here's the deal. I'm going to make it as simple as possible for those of you who might not understand what's going on here. You have a mosque in Israel called Alaska Mosque. In fact, on October 7th, the invasion, the Hamas called it Operation Alaska Flood. They claimed it was in retaliation for the Jews preventing Muslims from going into Alaska Mosque. Now, Alaska Mosque is built on a sacred site that the Jews believe must be cleared off. Now, the mosque has to be demolished because it's the only site on the planet where they can build a magical third temple. And when they build this magical third temple, it will make their Messiah come. That's part of their prophecy. They have to fulfill it. And they've been trying to reach that objective, well, I guess you could say for 2,000 years. A lot of Christian Zionists also want this to happen because they think this will help usher in the Antichrist, bring about the end of the world, and force Jesus to come back. So you have a lot of Christians who also want this to happen, including now possibly the next Secretary of Defense, and including now possibly much of Trump's incoming cabinet, which is why I tweeted out, never trust a Zionist, never support a Zionist, and for God's sake, never accept the leadership of a Zionist. Because it's not always the Jews. Okay? And it's funny because in response, a bunch of fucking double-digit IQ retards, the kinds of people we need to either purge or ignore or something, just say Jews, man. It's Jews. It's like, I get it, that you're used to people that can't just say Jews. I'm not one of those people, and there is a difference. If I say Zionist, I don't mean like ha ha tee hee. I really mean Jews. No, I mean Zionist. I mean Zionist. There is a difference. Not all Zionists are Jews. A lot of Zionists are Christians. And a lot of them are going to be occupying the White House in just a matter of weeks. That's just the truth. And these are messianic, third temple crazy Zionists. But of course, that's not too catchy. This is what drives me crazy. This isn't so catchy, right? Right? It almost gets 3,000 likes. But then I pop this out and it gets 123,000 likes. What the fuck? What the fuck's going on? For those of you just listening, I just retweeted an article from the Daily Mail asking what a power lesbian was, because they used the term power lesbian in their headline. And that gets 123,000 likes. Almost 6 million views, 5.9. Almost there. We almost got it. We almost did it, boys. That gets all the attention. I mentioned power lesbian, and that's right there. That shows you how we're fucked right now. No one cares about this. No one cares about the Zionist problem. It's not a big deal. They're Zionists. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. And then something that you'll also see from people is they'll say, well, the problem you've been talking about is, the Biden administration is close to 70% Jewish. Well, how would you explain Trump being controlled by Jews if all the people that he's nominating for positions in his cabinet, a lot of them are Christian? The vast majority are Christian. In fact, I think there's only one Jew, really, Stephen Miller, so far. And people will say, and he's one of the good ones. So I don't get it. What's your deal? And obviously he's not controlled by Jews because 86% of Jews voted for Kamala, or at least that was the women. I think the men it was tracking a little bit less than that, but in the same same ballpark. We'll just say 80% of Jews. 80% of Jews or thereabouts didn't vote for Trump. So how can you say that the Jews are somehow influencing Trump? Or that what? And why are you saying Zionist? And as I've tried to explain, the Jews are not the Borg. They're not a hive mind with a queen. It's not like a hive of bees, right? Right. I know that some people like to oversimplify and over meme this stuff to get it, get people to understand the friend-foe distinction. Understand that, yes, generally speaking, that Jews behave X, Y, or Z ways, and we're doing that to simplify a complex problem. And it doesn't mean that the problem's not complex, or that the issue isn't complex. And so I thought it would be worth going over tonight in an example of how it's complex and how Zionism is different than just the Jews, although it is obviously very related to the Jews, and how there might be Jews who are not Zionists, and how there might be Zionists who aren't Jews. And this is something you need to understand, especially moving forward with the Trump administration, because you're going to have a whole lot of Zionists in positions of power.